prayers.
Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jnanantivrandasya Jnananjalashalakaya Chakshurandamitamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vistam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Yadati Swapatam Shri Gurum Shri Kamalam Shri Vishnu.
Prabhu, your voice went or something happened. Devarsh Prabhu, can you hear him?
No, Prabhu, there is lagging.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. He lost Prabhu somewhere here.
Now Hare Krishna Hare Bol.
Yes, Prabhu, now it's working.
Okay. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Utapadakamram Shri Gurum Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Samsajivam Tadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Evam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Leta Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री द्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे
Prabhu, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thanks so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
We'll continue chapter 4, text number 14. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spriha iti mam yo bijanati karma birna sabadyate. Word to word, na never, mam unto me. Karmani, all kinds of work. Limpanti, do affect, na nor me, my, karma phale, in fruitive actions, priha, aspiration, iti thus, mam, unto me, yaha, one who, abhijanati, does know, karma be, by the reaction of such work, na never does, saha he, badyate, become entangled. Translation. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reaction of work. Purport. As there are constitutional laws in the material world stating that the king can do no wrong or that the king is not subjected to the state laws, similarly the Lord, although he is the creator of this material world, is not affected by the activities of the material world. He creates and remains aloof from the creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruitive results of material activities because of their propensity for lording it over material resources. The proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers, but the workers are themselves responsible. This is nice part. This works also on the Ritvik thing, and when they say Prabhupada couldn't make one disciple, pure devotee, this is also the proprietor of ISKCON is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers. The living entities. Yeah, I will take this note also. See, here is the argument.
When Prabhupada made pure devotees, he never gave any instruction that you should become a spiritual master. That
Yes,
is also one way to defeat this argument. It does not matter that there were pure devotees or not. You
yes.
need the order of the spiritual master to become a spiritual master.
What was this for? It was 414, I think. The living entities are engaged in their respective activities of sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord. For advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work of this world, and they aspire to heavenly happiness after death. The Lord, being full in himself, has no attraction for so-called heavenly happiness. The heavenly demigods are only his engaged servants. The proprietor never desires the low-grade happiness such as the workers may desire. He is aloof from the material actions and reactions. For example, the rains are not responsible for different types of vegetation that appears on the earth, although without such rains there is no possibility of vegetative growth. Vedic Smriti confirms this fact as follows. निमित्तमात्रम् एवासौ सृज्यानं सर्गकर्मणि प्रदाहानाकारणीभूता यतो वै सृजशक्तया. In the material creations, the Lord is only the supreme cause. The immediate cause is material nature, by which the cosmic manifestation is visible. The created beings are of many varieties, such as the demigods, human beings, and lower animals, and all of them are subject to the reactions of their past good or bad activities. The Lord only gives them the proper facilities for such activities and the regulations of the modes of nature, but he is never responsible for their past and present activities. In the Vedanta Sutras, it is confirmed that the Lord is never partial to any living entity. The living entity is responsible for his own acts. The Lord only gives him facilities through the agency of material nature and the external energy. Anyone who is fully conversant with all the intricacies of this love of karma or fruitive activities does not become affected by the results of his activities. In other words, the person who understands this transcendental nature of the Lord is an experienced man in Krishna consciousness and thus is never subjected to the laws of karma. One who does not know the transcendental nature of the Lord and who thinks that the activities of the Lord are aimed at fruitive results, as are the activities of the ordinary living entity, certainly becomes entangled himself in fruitive reaction. But one who knows the supreme truth is a liberated soul fixed in Krishna consciousness. Haribol. Hare Krishna Pranjal Prabhu, Hare Krishna Lebuhang Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept humble obeisances. All glories to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada.
Krishna Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thanks for joining.
Devarash Prabhu, Vivek Prabhu, Pranjal Prabhu, Semi Prabhu, Haribo.
Ooh.
Vivek Prabhu, long time. I thought you were a sannyasi now.
No, Prabhu. Kelvang Prabhu, will you read the next verse?
Yes, Prabhu. It's been a long time.
Yes, Prabhu. We are chapter 4.
Prabhu, why do you start the reading sessions early again?
Because they changed the time. Did they change it in Africa?
No, it never changes. It only changes there, I remember. So we meaning you are 1 hour ahead again.
Now it's 17:12.
17:12. From to me, it's 16:12.
That means you are only half an hour behind from India. It's 7:42 here.
17, Prabhu. It's 5.
Oh,
I'm two
sorry,
and a half
7.
hours. I'm 2.5
So,
Okay.
hours behind India.
meaning in
Yes.
summer we have if it's summer in South Africa, we have the same time.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, and I saw that now you wake up very early
Yes.
until your time is very forward.
Yeah, they moved it, so I had to wake up 1 hour earlier, but I got used to it quickly in 2 days, so now I'm waking up to 1 hour earlier.
Oh,
But
is it the same as Livesh Prabhu?
What, Prabhu?
Is it the same time as Livesh Prabhu? Do you use the same time
Yeah.
zones?
Yeah, he also changed the time.
Oh, so now I'm behind.
Yes, Prabhu.
Whoa. Now I got used to 5 p.m. That's why usually around these times I don't join Telegram.
Yes, Prabhu. This is the gift of Europe.
Oh, yeah. 1 hour earlier, 1 hour late.
Yes, Prabhu. They want to be controller of everything, so now they control the time.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder how they do it, Prabhu. Like, how is it possible to 1 hour behind, 1 hour ahead?
Yes, Prabhu.
The sun. Oh.
Does the sun and come up on the same time, or it is the sun rises delayed?
It's delayed on 1 hour, Prabhu.
Okay, okay, then it makes sense.
What if it's an artificial sun?
Yes, Prabhu.
Ah, Prabhu, come on. This scientist cannot create the sun.
They moved the sun
You know,
1 hour.
Devara, you know, scientist Prabhu. Have you seen Elon Musk? These new trucks. There were these new trucks. They create foam in the clouds for rain to create artificial rain.
Yes, Prabhu. They are also present in Dubai. But
Oh yes, yes, yes.
yes, yes.
Oh,
So
Hare
they
They cannot create a sun. Rain is not a big thing. It's just water. But then to create a sun,
yeah, but the sun is a big thing, eh?
Hare Krishna,
yeah.
Vishnu Prabhu, Dandar Pranam, Jai Shila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Paradise.
Krishna.
Accept number obeisances of glories to
Hare
Sri
Krishna
Prabhu.
Prabhu, Sthana Ram Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Prabhu, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, stand up, pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Prabhu. Semi Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
I wanted to ask one question about the spiritual master. I think it's between, is it Vishvanatha Chakravarti Thakura?
Yes, Prabhu. And who?
And I think, okay, but then I think it's Jagannatha Das Babaji Maharaj. He gave Shiksha, like he gave Shiksha Guru. Is it Shiksha Guru? Right? He gave it to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave it to Gorakisora.
Yes.
No, Prabhu.
Was it?
Was it? Can you say again?
Okay, let me say, the parampara of the spiritual master, ne?
Yes, Prabhu.
Jagannatha Das Babaji Maharaj is the disciple of Vishvanatha, right? Chakravarti Thakur.
Yes, Prabhu. We can see the list of the names. 1 second. Here is the.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask between, like, let's say Jagannath and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I think they became Shiksha Gurus, right? He initiated them to become Shiksha Gurus, meaning to represent, they represent Jagannatha Das, right?
Who, Prabhu? Who? Like
Jagannatha Das Babaji Maharaj. He gave it to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave it to Gorakisora.
Yes, Prabhu. That's the Guru Parampara. Like this.
Yes, like I was saying, is it because there was somewhere I heard it from Nimai that he gave him like Shiksha Guru, not Diksha.
Yeah, there is. I also asked this, but I forgot the names. But because he said there is 200-year gap in some place.
Oh, there's 200.
Do you mean that?
No, Prabhu. I just wanted to know, like, how did the Srila Prabhupada
Prabhu, I
become?
have heard that Bhakti, the Thakur's initiating spiritual master was different. and then he again accepted Jagannath Das Babaji as his Shiksha Guru.
Yes, Prabhu.
Bhakti Vinod, yes.
Yeah, something like that. But then, how did the lower ones, like not actually lower, but then the upcoming disciples, how did they get Diksha Guru?
Like whose disciples? You mean Jagannath Das Babaji?
No, like I understand Bhakti Vinoda and Gorakisora are Shiksha Guru. I'm not sure about Siddhanta Sarasvati. Is he Diksha or Shiksha?
Yes, he got
Prabhu,
initiated.
all of them are Diksha Gurus, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
All of them are Diksha. Yes.
Oh, all of them are Diksha. Because I thought they were Shiksha. Bhakti Vinoda
No.
Tagore and Gorakisora was Shiksha Gurus. There was this video I was watching of, it's about
A
it
bona
has
fide
something called
system. Ritvik, a bona fide
yes,
system.
yes, it has sub Hindus. So there
Yes.
Nimai Nitai Prabhu actually explained.
Yes, Prabhu. I asked 2 days ago from Luvesh Prabhu. So there was a 200-year gap in one point in the parampara.
Oh, yes.
It was before, but Narottam, I forgot where.
Yes, Prabhu.
It was not. Yes, because Bhakti Vinod Thakur's son is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and I mean Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Baba was also present at that time. So then how can we get? I
Yes.
think before that there was gap.
Yeah, it was before. It was Luvesh Prabhu said between Narottam Das Thakur and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur.
Yeah, it could be there.
Karibol, who wants to continue?
You said me, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Ivam Jantva Kritam Karma Puraiva Api Mumukshubi Kuru Karmaiva Tasmat Tvam Puraiva Puruvataram Kritam. Synonyms. Can I just tilt the phone? Oh. Okay, Ivam. Synonyms. Ivam. Tas. Chantva. Knowing well. Kritam. Performed. Karma. Work. Puraiva. By past authorities. Api. Although Mumukshu be. Who attained liberation, grew, just perform, karma, prescribed duty, evam, certainly, tasmat, therefore. Therefore, twam, you, puruvai, by the predecessors. How do you pronounce it, Prabhu? Predecessors. Something like that. Purvataram, eight predecessors. Kratam, as performed. Translation: all the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding and so attained liberation. Therefore, as the ancients, you should perform your duty in this divine consciousness. Purport by Zen Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There are two classes of men. I was reading such a similar statement. Two classes, full and infable. Two classes of men, some of them are full of polluted material things within their hearts, and some of them are materially free. Krishna consciousness is equally beneficial for both of these persons. Those who are full of dirty things can take to the line of Krishna consciousness for a gradual cleansing process, following the regulatory principles of devotional service. Those who are already cleansed of the impurities may continue to act in the same Krishna consciousness, so that others may follow the exemplary activities and thereby benefited. Foolish persons or neophytes in Krishna consciousness often want to retire from activities without having knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna's desire to retire from activities on the battlefield was not approved by the Lord. One need only know how to act. One need only know how to act. To retire from the activities of Krishna consciousness. Sit aloof, making a show of Krishna consciousness is less important than actually engaging in the field of activities for the sake of Krishna. Arjuna is here advised to act in Krishna consciousness, following in the footsteps of the Lord's previous disciples, such as the sun god Vivasvan, as mentioned herein before, the Supreme Lord. Is it chapter 4, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. The Supreme Lord knows all his past activities as well as those of persons who acted in Krishna consciousness in the past. Therefore, he recommends the act of the sun god who learned this art from the Lord some millions of years before. All such students of Lord Krishna are mentioned here as past liberated persons engaged in the discharge of duties allotted by Krishna. Chapter 4, verse 16. Kim karma kim akarameti kavayo pi atra mohitaha tate karma pravakshami. Prabhu, how do you pronounce this word? Please, karvayo pi. The middle one, the first middle one on the left.
Kavayopi.
Kavayo pi. Okay. Kim is Kim what? Kim what? Karma activity. Kim, okay. Karma non. Yeah, you can go down, Prabhu. Oh, Yag, is it Yag Jantva Mokshaye Subat Mokshaye, maybe it's liberation.
Yes, Prabhu. Kim karma kim karmeti kavayopyatra mohita tatte karma pravakshyami yajnanatva mokshaye subhat.
Oh, synonyms. Kim, what is karma? Action. Kim, what is a karma in action? It. What is known as action should also be. Yeah, I think I remember this loka. Kim, what is karma? Action. Kim, what is a karma in action? Iti thus. Kavaya ham, the intelligent. Api also. Atra, in this matter. Mohitaha, bewildered. That they unto you. Karma work. Paravakshayami. I shall explain. Yat, which, Gyatva, is it Gyana? Gyatva, knowing, Moksha, ye, be liberated, Asubahat, from ill fortune. Translation. Even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all sins. Prabhu, did we pass that sloka that says it's actually the opposite? What is action is in action. What is in action is action. Oh yeah, we haven't reached that yet.
I don't remember yet. I don't think we read that, Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Oh. You mean the night for the introspective sage?
No,
I don't
Prabhu.
remember.
There is also words like that. What is what this Lebon Prabhu said? There is also words like that.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, I don't think we went past it yet.
Okay, Prabhu. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Action in Krishna consciousness has to be executed in accord with the examples of previous bona fide devotees. This is recommended in the 15th verse. Why such action should not be independent will be explained in the text to follow. To act in Krishna consciousness, one has to follow the leadership of authorized persons who are in a line of disciplinic succession. In a line of, yes, you can go down, Prabhu. Disciplinic succession, as explained in the beginning of this chapter. The system of Krishna consciousness was first narrated to the Sun God. The Sun God explained it to his son Manu. Manu explained it to his son Ishvaku. And Semi Prabhu, I've never heard stories about Ishvaku. Actually, I know I've heard a lot about Manu and the Sun God, but then Ishvaku, nah.
Yes, Prabhu, same. I just know from this part.
Ishvaku, because they don't even give him a nickname. Like, let's say Manu, they call him the father of mankind. Vivasvan is the son.
Hmm.
So usually I never heard the stories of him, but then maybe it's in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the system is okay. Yeah, you can. No. So Prabhu Ishvaku was just like Rishabh Dev, 100 sons. Even I think Duryodhan, not Duryodhan, his father, Dhritarashtra.
In his son of Ayushmat Manu.
Meaning, Prabhu, meaning Dhritarashtra had 100 evil sons because they were all killed in the war battlefield.
Who?
Dhritarashtra.
Hmm.
Meaning he had 100 evil sons.
Oh,
Because you remember Duryodhan was the last one to be killed by, is it Bhima?
yes,
I think they were all killed.
All the brothers were killed by Bhima, Prabhu.
Oh, yes, yes. Even the Sushan, I forgot his name. Is it the Sushan or what? How do you pronounce it?
Dushasan.
Dusashan. Yeah. Prabhu, say it again. It misses my tongue. Dusashan.
Yes, Prabhu. He had 100 sons.
Oh, yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, you said you don't remember Gandhari.
Yeah, I remember the name, but now quickly I don't remember what was the.
Yeah, like he's actually the wife of
Oh,
Dhritarashtra.
yes, Prabhu.
He blindfolded herself, something like that.
Whose name, Prabhu?
Sorry?
Yeah, I don't
Whose
know
name you
about
were asking?
Mahabharata, Prabhu.
Gandhari only.
Gandhari.
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 If it's
Yes,
not
Prabhu.
Bhagavad Gita, then I don't know much about, because I don't think in the Gita they tell
એ
about.
રીતે ના કરીશ હું બહુ ચોટી જશે ત્યાં.
Sorry, Prabhu.
Gandhari only. Let's continue.
Prabhu.
Okay. Manu explained it to his son Chaku, and the system is current on this earth from that very remote time. Therefore, one has to follow in the footsteps of previous authorities in the line of disciplinic succession. Otherwise, even the most intelligent man will be bewildered regarding the standard actions of Krishna consciousness. For this reason, the Lord decided to instruct Arjuna in Krishna consciousness directly because of the direct instruction of the Lord to Arjuna. Anyone who follows in the footsteps of Arjuna is certainly not bewildered. It is said that one cannot ascertain the ways of religion simply by imperfect experimental knowledge. Yeah, it is said that one cannot ascertain the ways of religion simply by imperfect experimental knowledge. Isn't that scientists?
Yes, Prabhu.
Actually, the principles of religion can only be laid down by the Lord Himself. Dharmam hi sakshat bhagavat pranitam. No one can manufacture a religious principle by imperfect speculation. One must follow in the footsteps of great authorities like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Manu, Kaumara. is it Kumara? Kumara, Kapila, Prahlad, Bhishma, Sukadev Goswami, Yamaraj, Janaka. Prabhu, who was the demon? Who's the demon? Is it Yemuna, right? Not Yamaraj. Or is it the same thing, Yamaraj and Yemuna?
No, Prabhu.
Oh, Prabhu, though you're mixing something.
Yamuna is an river.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh,
Yes, Prabhu. I don't know which one that is.
Janaka, etc. By mental speculation, one cannot ascertain what is religion or self-realization. Therefore, out of causeless mercy of his devotees, the Lord explains directly to Arjuna what action is and what inaction is. Only action performed in Krishna consciousness can deliver a person from the entanglement of material existence.
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, does someone else want to also continue?
Hare Krishna. Text 17. कर्मणो हि अपि बोधव्यं च विक्रमणा अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गति. Synonyms. Karmana, working order. He, certainly. Abhi, also. Bodhavyam, should be understood. Bodhavyam, to be understood. Cha, also. Vikarmana, forbidden work. Akarmana, inaction. Cha, also. Bodhavyam, should be understood. Gahana, very difficult. Karmana, working order. Gadi, to enter into. Translation. The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. Purport. If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinctions between action, inaction, and unauthorized actions. One has to apply oneself to such an analysis of action, reaction, and perverted actions because it is very difficult subject matter. To understand Krishna consciousness and action according to the modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. That is, one who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is the eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusions against this consciousness and its attendant reactions are vikarmas or prohibitive actions. To understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn the secret from them. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. Otherwise, even the most intelligent person will be bewildered. Should I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu, you can read one more. Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Karmani akarmaya pashet, akarmani cha karma ya. Sa buddhiman manusheshu, sa yukta krishna karma krit. Synonyms. Karmani, inaction. Akarma, inaction. Ya, one who. Pashet, observe. Akarmani, inaction. In inaction. Cha, also. Karma, fruitive action. Ya, one who. Sa, he. Buddhiman, is intelligent. Manusheshu, in human society. Sa, he. Yukta, is in the transcendental position. Krishna, karmakrit, although engaged in all activities. Translation. One who sees inaction in action and action in inaction is intelligent among men, and he is in the transcendental position, although engaged in all sorts of activities. Purport. A person acting in Krishna consciousness is naturally free from the bonds of karma. His activities are all performed for Krishna. Therefore, he does not enjoy or suffer any of the effects of work. Consequently, he is intelligent in human society, even though he is engaged in all sorts of activities for Krishna. Akarma means without reaction to work. The impersonal sees fruitive activities out of fear, so that the resultant action may not be a stumbling block on the path of self-realization. But the personalists know rightly his position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, he engages himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness. Because everything is done for Krishna, he enjoys only transcendental happiness in the discharge of this service. Those who are engaged in the process are known to be without desire for personal sense gratification. The sense of eternal servitorship to Krishna makes one immune to all sorts of reactionary elements of work. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Okay, Hari Bol. Who wants to continue? Who has not yet read? I think Vivek Prabhu or Devarsh Prabhu or Pranjal.
I will read one, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay.
यस्य सर्वे समारंभा काम संकल्प वर्जिता ज्ञानाग्नि दधा दग्धा कर्मणं तम अहु पंडिताम बुद्धा यस्य one who survey all sorts of samarambha in all attempts kama desire for sense gratification sankalpa determination varijita varjita are devoid of jnana of perfect knowledge agni fire dagdha being burnt by karma nam the performer tam him ahu declare panditam learned buddha those who know. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. One is understood to be in full knowledge whose every act is devoid of desire for sense gratification. He is said by sages to be a worker whose fruitive action is burned up by the fire of perfect knowledge. Purport. Only a person in full knowledge can understand the activities of person in Krishna consciousness, because person in Krishna consciousness is devoid of all kinds of sense gratificatory propensities. It is to be understood that he has burned up the reactions of his work by perfect knowledge of his constitutional position as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is actually learned who has attained to such perfection of knowledge. Development of this knowledge of the eternal servitorship of the Lord is compared to fire. Such a fire, once kindled, can burn up all kinds of reactions to work. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nitya tripto nirashreya karmani abhiravratto api naiva kinchit karoti sa. Tyaktva, having given up, karma phala sangam, attachment for fruitive result, nitya, always, tripta, being satisfied, nira, sreya, without any center, karmani, in activity, abhi, rav, vritta, being fully engaged, api, in spite of, na, does not, ever, certainly, kinchit, anything, karoti, do, sa, he. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shiva Prabhupada. Amending all attachment to the result of his activities, ever satisfied and independent, he performs no fruitive actions, although engaged in all kinds of undertakings. This freedom from the bondage of action is only possible only in Krishna consciousness when one is doing everything for Krishna. A Krishna conscious person acts out of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore he has no attraction for the result of the action. He is not even attached to his personal maintenance, for everything is left to Krishna, nor he is anxious to secure things, nor to protect things already in his possession. He does his duty to his best ability and leaves everything to Krishna. Such an unattached person is always free from the resultant reactions of good and bad. It is as though he were not doing anything. This is the sign of akarma, or actions without fruitive reactions. Any other action, therefore, devoid of Krishna consciousness, is binding upon the worker, and that is the real aspect of vikarma, as explained herein before.
Okay, one more.
Yes, Prabhu. One more? Okay.
Prabhu.
Nirasir yatta chittatma त्यक्त्य सर्वर ग्रहा शरीरम केवलम कर्म कुर्मम नाप्नोति किल्बिषम. Synonyms: nirasi, without desire for the results, Yata, controlled. Chitta Atma, mind and intelligence. Tyakta, giving up. Sarva, all. Parigraha, sense of proprietorship over all possessions. Sariram, in keeping body and soul together. Kevalam, only. Karma, work. Purvan, doing so. Na, never. Apnoti, does not acquire. Kilbisam, sinful reactions. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Such a man of understanding acts with mind and intelligence perfectly controlled, gives up all sense of proprietorship over his possession, and acts only for the bare necessities of life. Thus working, he is not affected by sinful reactions. Purport. A Krishna conscious person does not expect good or bad result in his activities. His mind and intelligence are fully controlled. He knows that he is part and parcel of the Supreme, and therefore the part played by him as a part and parcel of the whole is not his choice, but by choice, is not his by choice, but is chosen for him by the Supreme and is done only through his agency. When the hand moves, it does not move out of its own accord, but by endeavor of the whole body. A Krishna conscious person is always dovetailed with the supreme desire, for he has no desire for personal sense gratification. He moves exactly like a part of a machine. As a machine, part requires oiling and cleaning for maintenance. Similarly, a Krishna conscious person maintains himself by his work just to remain fit for the action in transcendental loving service of the Lord. He is therefore immune to all the reactions of his endeavors. Like an animal, he has no proprietorship even over his own body. A cruel proprietor of an animal sometimes kills the animals in his possession. Yet the animal does not protest, nor does it have any real independence. A Krishna consciousness person fully engaged in self realization has very little time to falsely possess any material object for maintaining the body and the soul. He does not require unfair means of accumulating money. He does not therefore become contaminated by such material sins. He is free from all reactions to his actions. Haribol.
Haribo, thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Zero Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Prabhu, Zero Prabhu, can you read the next verse? Or Vivek Prabhu also. Did Vivek Prabhu already read? I forgot. You did read the prayers, if I remember right.
Yes, Prabhu. Zero Prabhu is free, he can read Zero Prabhu. If not, I can read Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yad Chiricha Labha Santusto Dvandvatito Vimatsarha Samhasiddhau Asiddhau Cha Kritva Pina Nibhadyate Yadricha out of its own accord, Labha, again, Santushtha, satisfied, then Dvanda, Dvanda, Dvandva, Dvandva, duality, Atitha, surpassed, Vimatsara, free from envy, Samaha, steady, Siddhau, in success, Asiddhav, failure, Cha also, Pritva, doing, Api, although, Na, never, Nibhayate is satisfied. Nibhayate is affected. Translation. He who is satisfied with gain which comes he who is satisfied with gain which comes on accord, who is free from duality and does not envy, who is steady both in success and failure, is never entangled although performing actions. A Krishna consciousness person does not make much endeavor even to maintain his body. He is satisfied with gains which are obtained of their own accord. He neither begs or nor borrows, but he labors honestly his as far as is in his power, and is satisfied with whatever he obtained by his own honest labor. He is therefore independent in his livelihood. He does not allow anyone's service to hamper his own service in Krishna consciousness. However, for the service of the Lord, he can participate in any kind of action without being disturbed by the duality of the material world. The duality of material world is felt in terms of heat and cold, or misery and happiness. A Krishna consciousness person is above duality because he does not hesitate to act in any way for the satisfaction of Krishna. Therefore, he is steady both in success and in failure. These signs are visible when one is fully in transcendental knowledge. Haribol.
Hey, one more, Prabhu.
Gatasangas- Gatasangasya muktasya jnana jnanavastitha chetasa yajna yajnacharitha karam yajnacharatha karma samgram samagram pravilyate gatasangasya, unattached to the modes of material nature, muktasya of the liberated, jnana avastitha, situated in transcendences, chitas of such wisdom, yajneha, for the sake of yajna, Krishna, uh, achar, acharataha, so acting, karma, work, samagram, samagram, in total, pravilyate, merges entirely. Translation: the work of a man who is unattached to the modes of material nature and who is fully situated in transcendental knowledge merges entirely into transcendence. Transcendence. Purport: becoming fully Krishna consciousness when he is freed from all dualities, and those he is free from the contamination of the material modes. He can become liberated because he knows his constitutional position in relationship with Krishna, and those his minds cannot be driven from Krishna consciousness. Consequently, whatever he does for Krishna, who is the primeval Vishnu. Therefore, all his works are technically sacrifices, because sacrifice involves satisfying the Supreme Person Krishna. The resultant reactions to all such works certainly merges into transcendence, and one does not suffer material effects.
Haribol. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Rahul Prabhu, can you read?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Oh, Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu.
It's Brahmanam Brahma Veder Brahmaguna Brahman Vitam Brahmayasena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. Synonyms. Brahma means spiritual nature. Apranam, contribution. And Brahma, the supreme
How, how do you have a but Brahma spiritual not knowing the fire of consum, consummation, Ramya by the spiritual Uttam offered the spiritual kingdom. He was certainly seen by him Gandhavya from the spiritual karmana activities, karma activities, madana by complete absorption. Translation: a person who is fully absorbed in consciousness is sure to attain spiritual training because of his full contribution to spiritual activities, in which consummation is the absolute, and that which is offered is of the same spiritual nature as both. Our activities in Krishna consciousness can lead one ultimately to the spiritual goal is described here. There are various activities in Krishna consciousness, and all of them will be described in the following verses. But for the present, just the principle of Krishna consciousness is described. The conditioned soul entangled in material contamination is sure to act like matter in the material atmosphere, and yet he has to get out of such an environment. The process by which a soul can get out of the material atmosphere is consciousness. For example, a patient who is suffering from disorder of the bowel due to overindulgence in milk products is cured by another milk product, namely curd. The material absorption soul can be cursed, can be cured by Krishna consciousness as set forth here in the Gita. The process is generally known as yajna, or activities, sacrifices, simply meant for the satisfaction of Vishnu or Krishna. The more the activities of the material world are performed and Krishna consciousness or for Vishnu only, the more the atmosphere becomes spiritualized by the complete absorption. Brahman means spiritual. The Lord is spiritual, and the rays of his transcendental body, Brahma, called Brahma-Jyoti, is spiritual, a spiritual effulgence. Everything, everything that exists is situated in that Brahma-Jyoti. When the Jyoti is covered by illusion, Maya or self-gratification it is called material. This material view can be removed at once by the consciousness, thus the offering for the sake of consciousness, the consuming of such an offering or contribution, the process of consumption, the contributor, and the result are all combined together. Brahman or the absolute truth covered by the Maya is called the matter. Matter dovetails for the cause of absolute truth, regains its spiritual quality. Consciousness is the process of covering the illusionary consciousness into Brahman or Supreme. When the mind is fully absorbed in this consciousness, it is said to be in samadhi or trance. Anything that anything done in such a transcendental consciousness is called yajna or sacrifice for that view. In that condition, spiritual consciousness of the contributor or the contribution, the consumption, the performer or the leader of the performance, and the result or ultimate gain, everything becomes one in absolute, the supreme harmony. That is the method of Krishna consciousness. Text
Oh,
25.
okay, one more, Prabhu.
Okay. Devam Yajnam Yogina Paripastate Brahmanam Apare Yajnam Yajna Veti Agi Vati and Devam. In worship of the demigod, Eva like this, Apare, some, Yajnam sacrifices, Yogina the mystic, Paripasate, worship perfectly, Mother absolute, with Agnya in the fire of Apare others, Yajnam sacrifice, Vijnana by the sacrifice, thus Eva, thus Upajivati worship. Translation. Some yogis perfectly worship the demigods by offering different sacrifices to them. Some of them offer sacrifices in the fire of supreme and therefore, as described above, a person engaged in discharging duties in the consciousness is also called a perfect yogi or first class mystic. But there are others also who perform similar sacrifices in the worship of demigod, and still others are who sacrifice to the supreme human or the impersonal feature to the. So there are different kinds of sacrifices in the terms of different categories. In terms of different categories. And different categories of sacrifice are by different types of performers only superficially demark the varieties of sacrifice. Active sacrifice means to satisfy the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, who is also known as Ragnar. All the different varieties of sacrifice can be placed within two primary divisions, namely the sacrifice of worldly possessions and sacrifice in pursuit of transcendental knowledge. Those who are in Krishna consciousness sacrifice all material possessions for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord, while others who want some temporary material happiness sacrifice their material possession to satisfy their demigods, such as Indra, the sun god, etc. And others who are impersonalists sacrifice their entity by merging into the existence of the impersonal non. Demigods are powerful living entities appointed by Supreme Lord for maintenance and supervision of the material functions, like the heating, watering, and lightning of the universe. Those who are interested in material benefit worship the demigods or sacrifice various sacrifices according to Vedic ritual. These are these are called Bhavisvaravadi, are believers in many gods, but others who worship the impersonal feature of the absolute truth and resolve the forms of the demigods of temporary sacrifice their individual selves in the supreme fire and thus end their individual existences and merging into the supreme existence of the supreme. Such impersonalists spend their time in philosophical speculations and psychological nature of the supreme. In other words, the putative workers sacrifice their material possessions for material enjoyment, whereas the impersonalists sacrifices material designation with a view to merging into the existence of the supreme. For the impersonalists, the higher altar of sacrifice is the supreme being, and therefore offering is the self to consumed by the higher being. Sacrifices like Angela sacrifices everything for the satisfaction of Shakya. And that all my material possessions
Haribol. Thank you so much, Pranjal Prabhu. Okay, now we're
This is
running.
an auspicious day, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, this was very special.
Yeah,
Really.
Pranjal Prabhu Re. Harbo.
Jai. Very nice. Okay, tomorrow we continue from text 26.
Order.
Kaunal Bhavishkar. New devotee.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Kunal Prabhu, Dandar Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Kaunal Bhavishkar.
Take Prabhuji, Danvat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
You are from Prabhu? Prabhu?
Yes,
You are from?
Maharashtra, Mumbai.
Okay. You when did you join this group?
August 2024.
Oh, he has been Prabhu here. Like 6 months.
You know? Okay. You know all the devotees in our group? Like
Yes, I know.
who you know?
Amit Prabhu and Sami Prabhu, Luis Prabhu.
Are you associating with them?
Yes, mostly during chanting session in morning. And Jani
Okay.
Prabhu also.
Haribol.
Okay.
You want to read one verse, Prabhu? Kunal Prabhu, can you read one verse? This 26.
Krishna Prabhu, you can read one
Yes,
verse.
yes, Prabhu.
How old
Strotra
are you?
Dindrayani Anye Samyamagneshu Juvati Sabdadin Vishana Anya Indriyaneshu Juvati. Sorry, I didn't do the properly recitation, so please forgive.
What a mistake.
I'm not good in Sanskrit.
Prabhu, you can continue the translation and word to word and purport.
Okay. Strutra Adini hearing process Indriyani senses Anye others Samyama of restraint Agnishu in the fire Juvati offers Sabda Adin sound vibration Vishana objects of sense gratification Anye others Indriya of sense organs Agnishu in the fire and Juvati sacrifice. Translation: some of them sacrifice the hearing process and the senses in the fire of the control mind, and others sacrifice the objects of senses, such as sound, in the fire of sacrifice. Purport: the four divisions of human life, namely the brahmachari, the grihastha, the vanaprastha, and the sannyasi, are all meant to help men become perfect yogis or transcendentalists. Since human life is not meant for our enjoying sense gratification like the animals, the four orders of human life are so arranged that one may become perfect in spiritual life. The brahmacharis or students under the care of a bona fide spiritual master control the mind by abstaining from sense gratification. They are referred to in this verse as sacrificing the hearing process and the senses in the fire of control mind. A brahmachari hears only words concerning Krishna consciousness. Hearing is the basic principle for understanding, and therefore the pure brahmachari engages fully in Harer Namanukirtanam, chanting and hearing the glories of Lord. He restrains himself from vibrations of material sounds, and his hearing is engaged in the transcendental sound
vibration of Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Similarly, the householders who have some license for sense gratification perform such acts with great restraint. Sex life, intoxication, and meat eating are general tendencies of human society. But a regulated householder does not indulge in unrestricted sex life and other sense gratifications. So marriage on principles of religious life is therefore current in all civilized human society because that is the way for restricted sex life. This restricted and attached sex life is also a kind of yajna because the restricted householder sacrifices his general tendency towards towards sense gratification for higher transcendental life.
Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Prabhu,
Prabhu.
you can join daily, Prabhu. Okay.
Yes, if I
Okay, you can join daily, and you can associate with Swami Prabhu and all the elder Prabhus in our group. They can help you.
Prabhu also.
okay,
You
Prabhu.
can contact Swami Prabhu, like
Yes,
Swami
You
Prabhu.
can also join the Ishtagoshti, Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
every Sunday.
yes, yes.
You associate with Swami Prabhu. Swami Prabhu will guide you. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Neil Prabhu, Dandal Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please is all Krishna Shila Prabhupada.
Okay, Prabhu, next verse is for you.
Okay, Prabhu, ready. Sarva Indriya Karmani, Prana Karmani Chapari, Atma Samyama Yognayu, Juvati Jnana Dipide. Synonyms: Sarvani, all. Indriya, senses. Karmani, functions. Prana Karmani, functions of the life breath. Cha, also. Apari, others. Atma Samyama, controlling the mind. Yoga, linking process. Agnavu, in the fire of. Juvati, offers. Jnana Dipite, because of the urge for self-realization. Translation: those who are interested in self-realization in terms of mind and sense control offer the functions of all the senses as well as the vital force breath as oblations into the fire of the controlled mind. Purport by His Divine Grace S.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The yoga system conceived by Patanjali is referred to herein. In the Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, the soul is called Pratyag Atma and Paragatma. As long as the soul is enjoyment, it is called Paragatma. The soul is subjected to the functions of 10 kinds of air at work within the body, and this is perceived through the breathing system. The Patanjali system of yoga instructs one on how to control the functions of the body's air in a technical manner. Ultimately, all the functions of the air within become favorable for purifying the soul of mental attachment. According to this yoga system, Pratyag Atma is the ultimate goal. This Pratyag Atma is a withdrawal from activities in matter. The senses interact with the sense objects like the ear for hearing, eyes for seeing, nose for smelling, tongue for tasting, hand for touching, and all of them are thus engaged in activities outside the self. They are called the functions of the prana vayu. The apana vayu goes downwards. Vyayana vayu acts to shrink and expand. Samana vayu adjusts equilibrium. Udana vayu goes upwards, and when one is enlightened, one engages all these in searching for self-realization.
Prabhu.
Haribo.
Okay, now we need to go to 6 Astakam prayers. Thank you so much,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादाभाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतस्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्णसङ्कीर्तनम्
नामकारि बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशं जनीननुग्रहा
Nadapi Sunichena. You can do it, Prabhu.
Okay. Trinat api sunichena taro api sahesnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari.
Naganam najanam na sundarim kavidam va jagadisha kame मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहेतुकी त्वयि।
हे नन्दतनुजाति परं पतितं मां विषमे भवं बुधाय कृपया तव पादपङ्कजे स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया
नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गद्गदाहृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निश्चितं वपु कदा तव नामग्रहणे भविष्यति।
युगायितं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविर्शायितं शून्यायितं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे।
अशिश्लवपदरथं पिनस्तु माम् अधर्मं हठं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदतुलन्पतो मत्प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नार्पणः। Glory.
Glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names, like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy name, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
One should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the strait. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false lusting, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, breath after breath.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your Lord's feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand at your name? Oh Govinda, feeling your separations, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditional.
Dibo, Sri Sikastam ki jai.
To blaspheme the devotees of the Lord who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord.
And Prabhu.
To consider the name
Yeah,
of
Prabhuji
demigods
has
like
done
Shiva and Brahma, then is very equal or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Yes, yes, yes.
to disobey the orders
Continue,
of the
continue.
spiritual master, to
Consider
blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance of the Vedic version.
oh, to consider the ghost of chanting to be imagination.
Yes, 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 correct.
Yes. To give some interpretation of the holy name of the Lord, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name.
Consider
It's about karma kanda.
To consider chanting of Hare
Simple.
Krishna to be like consider the chanting of Hare Krishna to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna to win auspicious futuristic activities which he offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities Karmakanda.
To instruct a faithless person
Yes,
about the
Prabhu.
glorious of the holy name. Yes, yes.
So
Last
that have
lines.
complete faith in chanting and to maintain material attachments even after so many, even after understanding so many instruction on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting.
Karibu.
Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must
Let
guard
us
against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema.
Prem.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Let us offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like desired priests, who can fulfill all desires and are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul.
वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवाय नमो नमः. Dhawan pranam. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Right. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
कृष्ण
Premi
Hey
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Amit Prabhu.
Premi
Dhanya
Prabhu.
Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining, Prabhu.
Prabhu, so what are you going to do in Ram Navami? Was any plan like how are you going to spend the day?
When is the Ram? When Prabhu?
Prabhu, this
Sunday.
Sunday, Prabhu. Prabhu, is there any lecture of ISKM of Ramayana?
Yes, Prabhu.
Any?
There's
It is like any playlist, the specific playlist, something like that.
There's actually, you can also check Nimai Nitai Prabhu, but I think it's for kids. But then the knowledge is not for kids.
Oh, Ramayana. I think it is
He
there.
simplifies everything. It's about, I like the story. I think it's about Sita being kidnapped, something like that.
oh, there is a drama actually.
Yeah.
Oh,
There are
yes,
dramas, many
yes.
dramas actually.
And I
Oh,
think His
Ram.
Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu might do a live lecture.
Special lecture, yeah, special lecture. He always does.
Yeah. Or maybe Tatvavid Prabhu, you never know.
That's why Prabhu is Lord Ramachandra.
Oh, nice observation.
You look so masculine and so handsome. What brings you to
Oh, so this is Surupnaka, I think. Yeah, Surupnaka.
this great forest which is
Yeah.
so fierce? Dasharath. We hail
Hey,
from the
Shami
right
Prabhu.
and this is my dear wife, Sita. On the order of our father, we are serving our exile, and thus we are in this forest.
Yes, Prabhu, we can watch this.
Yeah.
I've never
So
seen.
what is there like a spoken lecture like means reading from the Ramayana like that? Oh, there
There's
is
actually a lot
Ram.
of it.
Yeah, there is actually one special lecture that I want to see from Ramanavami by Sundar Gopal Prabhu.
Yes, this one.
I think he's quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam,
Yes,
9th canto, I guess.
quoting from
So, meaning Prabhu, we are going to fast.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
fasting is till noon, I guess.
No,
Fast.
Prabhu, evening. And then after
Oh,
Ekadashi Prasadam.
Therefore, whether one is a
okay.
demigod and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person and he will always remain safe from that time on. See that point? And now, Ravana on the other hand, he went ahead, he cursed, he got cursed. And you see what happened? What the verse? Angada and other commanders of the soldiers of Ramachandra faced the elephants, infantry, horses and chariots of the enemy and hurled against them big trees, mountain peaks, clubs and arrows. See? The soldiers of Ravana.
Yes, Prabhu. This is a must watch before Ramanavami. Let's see if there's others. There's many dramas actually.
Yes.
Tatvait Prabhu's lecture from last year.
Yeah, we can watch that. Yes, yes.
So there are two lectures.
Yes, Prabhu. There is also one Sastra Chakshu Ramayana History or Mythology by Tatvavita 7 years ago.
A lecture from Vishwamba Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
These descriptions are not myths.
maybe the day before.
Facts.
Actually, we have to ask. I am scared of asking. Like notes of second and third chapter of BG. I always want to ask.
The deliverance. Ramanuja.
The deliverance of Lord Shiva? What is it?
The deliverance. I think it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is
Brikashura, I guess. Brikashura.
the quality is so bad.
How old is it?
It's 14
Yeah,
years
14
ago.
years ago.
Oh.
2001. Oh my god. No, sorry, 2011.
This Vishwambar Prabhu. Oh,
Vishwambar? Oh my god. I was thinking, who is this person?
I think it's Vishwambar Prabhu.
Yeah, seems like the same body type. Oh yeah, definitely Vishwambar Prabhu.
This is this Lord Shiva?
Yeah,
Who is Lord Shiva?
I guess this person, he's holding the three. What is this called? I forgot. Trishul. This person who is holding the Trishul.
Yeah, that was Brikashura, yes. Bhagavatam.
so Semi Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
well, His Grace Prahlad Bhakta Prabhu will he be free for Ishtagoshti this coming
No,
week since it's
he said that no,
No,
but
Yeah,
maybe
he'll be busy.
Oh.
He'll be busy. Yeah. Oh, this is Bhakti Vikas.
something
Bhakti
special.
Vikas.
So meaning Prabhu, they're going to call Krishna Chaitanya again.
not
Sri
sure.
Krishna
Prabhu.
and thief.
Maybe he's also busy.
Oh,
Yeah, there is actually one long lecture about what was it?
Lord Ram.
Yeah, it was maybe something else.
Prabhu, so I have to go now. Thank you for precious association. Haribo.
Yes, thank you everyone for your association. See you again tomorrow.